We were talking about your fight with Dominick Cruz that you seemed so emotional, like you wanted to kill that dude. Like you were
I did.
so
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wanted to kill him, you know.
It was so I mean, it was obvious. You were head hunting as opposed to like one of the things that I really enjoyed about your first and your second fight with Renan Barão. But your first fight with Renan Barão was like, here you are fighting for the title, and you look like you're in a sparring session.
Yeah.
You were just so loose, like right away. You could throw there's nothing, no tension to what you were doing. Everything was like flowing. And I was like, look how well he's responding to the pressure. You were having a great time out there.
Yeah, exactly. Not thinking about it, you know. And like you said with the Cruz thing, I wanted to finish him. I wanted to go out there and put a point on it, and you know, things you learn from. Those are the small mistakes you learn from, and you change them up next time, and you come out there a little more level-headed, and you know, play his game. Like kind of like you were saying, you know, he's a point fighter, you know, and if you go out there and let him point fight you, then that's what he's going to do, you know. So you got to be able to react to how he fights and change it up a little bit, and that's why each training camp's a little bit different, and you learn those things, you know.
When you go and watch a fight after it's over, do you see openings and you're like, shit?
Yeah, yeah.
That's called regret. I still have this, but sorry.
Yeah,
well,
100%. You'll see it, and I'll start sweating because I'm getting mad that I didn't do something correctly. You know, like in the end of the first round, I was watching the fight against Cruz, and I had a double leg locked up so deep, and I just didn't finish it, and that could have changed the entire fight. Just one takedown at the beginning of the first round. I was all the way deep, hands under his butt perfectly. I just didn't pinch my elbows to finish it, so I went to lift him, and he slid right through my arms. The one difference I had to make was pinching my elbows in, and you know, it changes it.
Just one of those things in the moment, isn't it? Fascinating how like you have to train perfectly, and then you have to just let everything go automatic.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You hit the nail on the head. Is to train everything perfectly. Now it comes down to quality reps. But then what's a quality rep? Hitting and not getting hit, or getting the takedown, not getting taken down, things like that, right? So now it comes to the point of adapting to the athlete and the scenario. And what's correct, again, is making sure you have high success with that technique, whatever that technique may be. So just put in the time and the reps so it comes out fluidly, and there's no longer a thought, but an instant reaction.
Well, and also having the right coaches, too, that can give you that information and can give you that high-level technique, because there's so many people out there that are talented people, but you see their game just doesn't evolve. It just hits this level, and it's sort of like the level that their coaches are capable of taking them to, and then they don't go any further.
And that coach, you have to believe and trust in that coach to be able to take you to that level. Someone can be telling you the exact thing you need to do, but if you don't trust and believe that guy, if he doesn't get it through your head the right ways, then it's not going to make sense. You know, it's not, you're not going to do it because you don't believe in it.
Well, I think it's amazing what's going on right now with MMA, that people who are casual people, like perfect example, the other day I was at my daughter's school, and one of the dads came up to me, and this dude was just a new fan. He'd only been watching MMA for the past year, and he was just rapid firing questions at me, and he was obsessed with it. He's like, I was never into martial arts when I was a kid. I watched a little bit of boxing, and he's like, but man, the UFC has just got me hooked. And he's like, one of the things that I love about it is how many different ways a fight can end. He's like, it's so crazy. Like you'll watch a fight, and then all of a sudden the guy's getting choked. It's like, what happened?
Yeah.
And we were going over this about it, and this guy was a real smart guy. I think he's like a hedge fund manager or something like that. But he was obsessed with all the possibilities. You know, and I think casual fans are starting to understand now that this is a very intellectual pursuit. If you don't have a strong mind, and if you don't have this full range of options and possibilities inside the octagon, you're most likely limiting yourself.
Agreed. I see that. Yeah, possibilities are nice. Way to change things up, and again, like we said earlier, confuse the brain, get them thinking about something else, and then you do something else. So it's always nice.
But I think right now we're seeing like there's a pack, right? There's like this standard pack of athletes that are doing things in a certain way, and then there's a few that are moving away from the pack, and they're expanding the potential of MMA. I think you're one of those people.
I appreciate that.
And I think you for sure are one of those coaches. And there's a few guys out there, I know you don't like to hear it, but Dominick Cruz is one of them. He's
Yeah.
also doing it. And we were talking about him today, that like his style is so fucking odd. You know, like,
I mean, he's technically not sound, actually, but but he uses it the right ways. He's got awesome timing.
Yeah.
He's got great cardio. He's got a great chin.
Yeah.
And then he can get away with the bad things he does because he does them for the right way for himself.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think you can say it's technically bad
True.
because he's so fucking successful
Yeah.
and he knows how to do it. I just think it's not standard. You know, like he doesn't, like we were using Ramon Deckers as an example. He does not throw kicks and punches like Ramon Deckers. But what he does do is he throws them like Dominick Cruz, where he's moving like a pendulum back and forth, and his footwork is so weird, and he's overwhelming your mind with possibilities, and he doesn't do the same thing twice. He mixes things up so well that he's a tough nut to crack.
Indeed, yeah,
But-
he's tricky. He is trickier than I expected for sure. But piece of that again, game planning is the talks up to the fight to get them emotionally invested.
Yes.
And then it becomes a bit trickier to find the head.
Right.
If
So
that's the goal.
when you were leading up to the fight, he was talking so much shit,
Yeah.
and you could tell that you were getting so upset. But
Yeah.
that is a big factor in fights, right? Because fights are so emotional.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the only sports in the world where your health is on the line, like literally. Like this, the option. It's not like you might get in a car accident when you're racing cars. That's a possibility. But the goal of MMA is for you to fuck up someone's body.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The thing with him too that pisses you off so much is that he'll attack anything and just talk about something that doesn't even make sense just to talk, and talk louder and faster and not give you a chance to talk. It's like high school girls just bickering at each other.
Yeah.
I think that's what pisses you off the most, because he's not even actually making a great point. He's just making it and making it louder.
Being
Well, he's
annoying.
very articulate.
Yeah.
He's a good analyst because
He's
of
good.
that.
He does
Yeah.
good at that. Agreed. Yeah.
So
another
when-
technique.
If you get a chance to fight him again for the title,
Yeah, I better.
which you're
I
in
better
line,
win, yeah.
right? Obviously. Well, you lost a very close decision to him, and then you beat Rafael and Sunsao, which, in my opinion, was we were talking about this today, was an excellent example of how far you progressed, because you guys had a really tough fight the first time you fought. It was a close fight. This fight was not close. You just ran away from him, or ran away with the fight, rather, not ran away from him, but ran. I mean, you were just. It was a clear victory. It was like you were so much more technical. There were so many more options you were presenting to him, and he was basically the same fighter that he was back then. Maybe slightly better, but you're a way better fighter.
I appreciate it, man. We've worked hard. We've worked long hours, worked really hard. It's crazy how, like you said, this sport works out, how quick things can change. I mean, I could be on an 11-fight win streak right now, and a split decision loss to Rafael Sunsao. I thought I won that fight. A very close fight with Dominick Cruz that I felt I won as well. Those two fights go my way. I'm on an 11-fight win streak. Still have the belt. Known as hopefully one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters in the world. And
Well, you
it's
still
crazy how
are,
stuff
for
changes.
sure.